topic for today is characteristics of criminal law. This version of my vlog is the longer version because I am going to explain to you in detail so that you'll have a better grasp, a better understanding of what the characteristics are. Ang purpose natin dito ay maintindihan nyo para yung konsepto mas mag-grasp nyo, mas malalim yung pag-intindi, mas mariretain siya sa inyo. And medyo papaulit-ulitin natin siya. That way, mamememorize nyo siya without you knowing it. But I am going to have another shorter version as well para lang naman yun for rote memory. The shorter version will not have a detailed explanation pero you can play it, i-shuffle nyo, parang paulit-ulit, ma-memorize nyo rin siya. Okay, let's start. There are 3 characteristics of criminal law, namely 1. Generality, 2. Territoriality, and 3. Prospectivity. Let's take a look at the root words so that we'll be able to understand and memorize it. Okay, generality came from the word general, pertaining to people. Territoriality is territorial, pertaining to place. Prospectivity is prospective, pertaining to time. I-drawing po natin. So, for general, it's for people, may tao. Territorial, may place, nakatayo yung tao doon. And prospective is for time. Perspective is forward-looking time, to the future. For visual learners like me, mas nare-retain sa kanila ang drawing na yan, na-i-imagine nila, mas naaalala nila yung general, territorial, prospective. Going back to the number 1 characteristic, generality, which I said pertains to people. Penal laws are binding to all who live and sojourn in the Philippines. I said it pertains to people kasi ang batas natin, ang penal laws natin, nag-a-apply siya sa lahat ng tao na nasa Pilipinas, whether nakatira, live, or in transit lang, dumaan lang, sojourn. So the keywords here are live and sojourn in the Philippines. So that is generality. This is the general rule. Applicable siya sa lahat ng mga nakatira or in transit dito or nasa Philippines. However, there is always an exception to the general rule. It can be found in Article 2 when it said that except as provided in the treaties and laws of preferential application. So, ang sinasabi dito, hindi covered ng jurisdiction natin kung nakalagay ito sa treaties and sa laws of preferential application. One example of treaty doing that is the Visiting Forces Agreement. So, generally, the Philippines cannot refuse the request of the U.S. for waiver of jurisdiction under the VFA. As to laws of preferential application, one example is RA 75, wherein persons who are exempt from arrest and imprisonment and whose properties are exempt from distraint, seizure, and attachment are the public ministers, ambassadors, and domestic servants of ambassadors and public ministers. Another law of preferential application is the warship rule. A warship of another country, even though docked in the Philippines, is considered as an extension of the territory of their respective country. Warships are always reputed to be the territory of the country to which they belong and cannot be subjected to the laws of another state. So, ibig sabihin, wala tayong jurisdiction sa warship ng ibang bansa kahit nandito siya nakadock sa Philippines. Next law of preferential application is the principle of public international law. The following are exempt from our criminal jurisdiction: sovereigns and other heads of state, charge d'affaires, ambassadors, ministers plenipotentiary, and ministers resident. Take note, hindi po na-mention ang mga consuls ha. For your info, consuls, vice consuls, and other commercial representatives of foreign nations cannot claim the privileges and immunities accorded to ambassadors and ministers, and therefore are not exempt. As a review, we have discussed the generality, which is the number one characteristics of criminal law, and which refers to people. We will be cutting it here. Medyo mahaba na po. So this is our part 1. Please check our part 2 for a detailed discussion of the two other characteristics of criminal law, which are territoriality and prospectivity. Okay? Thank you for watching. I'll see you again soon. Please check the next vlog. Thank you. This is Plantorni G, and I'm signing out for now.